Hey everyone! Before we start, let's first talk about Volibear's items and runes. And the first item I'd go for is Divine Sunder. Sunder synergizes well with Volibear's kit, making him a lot more tankier, giving him more damage, ability haste, as well as a Sheen passive, which he could proc with the use of his second skill. With the Divine Sunder giving him lifesteal, and if you combine it with the empowered second skill, you would get a lot of your HP back. Then the second item I'd go for is Black Cleaver. This is also similar to Sunder, wherein it gives Volibear more tankiness, damage, ability haste, and a Sunder passive, which allows Volibear to deal more damage with his second skill. Similar to Sunder, if you're able to auto-attack an opponent a lot of times, then it will reduce their armor, making your second skill deal more damage as well. Then the third item I'll go for is a Steel-Plated Stasis. If you're massively far ahead, you could go for the Righteous Glory, but if it's a close game, Steel-Plated Stasis is a much better option. You could go for the Mercury Treads if they have a lot of crowd control, but usually if they're AD heavy, the Plated Steel Caps is the way to go. Then the next item I'll go for is the Amaranth's Twin Guard. This makes you a lot more tankier since you don't have any armor MR. This would provide all of the resistances that you need. At this point, you already have a lot of HP, and with the Amaranth's Twin Guard, it allows you to last in team fights a lot longer and grant you more tenacity, armor, and MR when you're able to proc this item. Then the next item is actually a flex. It depends on what you want to do. You could go for the Deadmans if you're ahead. You could go for the Frozen Heart if they're AD heavy. Even the Thornmail if they have a lot of lifesteal. Or you could just go for the Warmogs if they have a lot of poke. So it's up to you on what item you want to go. Similar to the last item, I usually go for the Guardian Angel for the second life. But you could also go for the Force of Nature if they have a lot of AP. Going to the runes, the first one I go for is Conqueror. Volibear can stack this pretty easily. It also synergizes well with his burst damage and his second skill. Second rune that I'd go for is Triumph. Since we're building a lot of HP, if we're able to get a takedown, we would get a lot of our HP back. This also increases our damage when the opponents are low on HP, making our second skill a lot stronger on executing opponents. Then the third rune I'd go for is Perseverance. This is really good if the opponents have a lot of crowd control. This would make you a lot tankier, especially since we're only building HP items at the start. If they don't have much crowd control, another rune that you could go for is Conditioning. This would make you a lot tankier when you get to the late game, and it synergizes well with the Amaranth's Twin Guard. Then the last one I'll go for is the Nimbus Cloak. This is really good, especially for building Hourglass, since using Smite or Flash gives us bonus move speed, allowing us to be able to escape or chase the targets a lot easier. An alternative rune for this would be Transcendence. This is also good on Volibear, since the lower the cooldowns, the more you will be able to spam your skills. But overall, it's up to you on what you want to go for. If you want to chase your opponents and become more mobile, Nimbus Cloak is better. But if you want to have stronger damage in team fights, Transcendence is also another good option. So that is it for Volibear's items and runes, and I will see you guys in game. Going into the game, I'm going to be playing Jungle Volibear and show you how to abuse his kit. In this matchup, we're currently up against Xin Zhao, and in a Volibear versus Xin Zhao, this is quite even with both junglers having strong gank potential. The only difference is that Volibear should be able to win the 1v1 in the early game, but when it gets to the late game, Xin Zhao might have the advantage in the team fights due to his ultimate giving him invulnerability against ranged targets. In the end, it's all about who's able to gank better and who's able to peel for their team more. I place a ward in the top side so I know which scuttler the Xin Zhao will go for, then proceed to the Krugs for my jungle start. The clear that I'm doing is a red side clear, where I go for my Krugs, red Raptors, and Flex, depending on what would happen around the map. Volibear's clear is quite fast as compared to other junglers because of the use of his passive and his second skill dealing a lot of damage. The only thing that you want to do with Volibear is to always use your second skill in between attacks. That way, you would be able to clear the jungle faster, and with the use of the passive, you don't even need to auto-attack the small minions. In this game, what I'm thinking about is to get level 5 as soon as possible, and Volibear is really good at tower diving. So if you have a strong lane, which could push the opponents into their tower, you could easily go for a tower dive. What I'm doing is I'm checking what lane could I possibly gank, and looking what's happening, we could go for the top dive if the Teemo overextends or if Aatrox gets a priority. Xin Zhao shows himself topside which means that he will be at the top spot. What I'm contemplating right now is if I should contest, but looking with what's happening, I cannot because mid doesn't have priority as well as our Baron lane. So I played it safe and just continued to full clear my own jungle. Knowing Xin Zhao is crossing to the other side and going for the double scuttler, I know that Teemo will be alone, and seeing that he's overextended, good job by Aatrox forcing the flash. I place a control ward just in case Teemo warded, and I wait for Teemo to CS since his wave is extended. As soon as I see Teemo extend, we go for the punish. First skill, third skill, just in case Teemo wants to go back, and with that, we get the first blood. You would always want to use your third skill in advance so that you could cut the escape route of the opponents. And if they try to dodge it, then they will have bad pathing and you would be able to reach them with your stun. I go back, buy my first set of items, then go to the bot side to start another clear. I'm thinking about ganking the bot lane, but seeing that they have a lot of crowd control and their HP is quite healthy, I know that I wouldn't be able to do anything and proceed to farm my jungle. Looking at the map, there's nothing else that's happening, and when you're playing Volibear, as much as possible, you'd always want to use your ult if an opportunity arises. But with all of the lanes not showing themselves, I have no choice but to farm my own jungle. And it's okay, because when you play Volibear, you'd always want to complete your Divine Sunder before the dragon fight. With one kill, most likely I'd be able to complete this, and I saw Diana ward the bot side, or check, so I cannot go for a gank even though it's a melee matchup. Their bot lane overextends, and this is a perfect opportunity for me to go for another gank. With Saya no flash, Lux by herself, we go in, third skill, and even though Lux flashes, I still have my ultimate to be able to chase her down. Really good start by us. We're able to help impact the Baron lane as well as the bot side, even though their Xin Zhao was able to get double scut. With the red buff spawning, I go back to my own jungle and start to clear this camp. My top camps are also up, so the clear that I'm gonna do here is most probably red buff into top side clear, then we can go for a top gank or dive if possible. Xin Zhao shows himself with the scuttle spawning. I'm quite far, so I wouldn't be able to get it. Unfortunate, I haven't gotten any scut, but it's okay because we're able to help impact our lanes more. What I'm doing right now is I just want to finish my Sunder unless there's something that happens in the map. With it almost being completed, I just want to clear my camps. I look to see to clear the Gromp, go home, or go for a dive top. And seeing that Teemo's a bit overextended, I take my chances, wait for the extension, go in with my ultimate. I still have flash to chase even though Teemo has his own flash. We take the Baron lane down, but Aatrox falls 1v1 with Xin Zhao. I should have the advantage, but I don't have the means to be able to execute their jungler. Overall, it's just a decent trade, but the problem is that I don't have my flash and ultimate for the objective. At least I'm able to buy my Sunder, and with Corki having package, we should have the advantage when it comes to the objective, as long as we're able to have a decent 5v5 team fight. With Aatrox going topside, it's gonna be a bit risky. I tried to dodge the Lux Bind, but Volibear is a bit big. We don't have priority, and what I'm seeing right now is that Aatrox is starting the Herald by himself. As soon as Teemo shows, I know that we will be able to contest. It's gonna be a 5v4. Seraphine with a great ultimate, but I have no ulti to follow up, and our duo lane just gets bursted down. So I just go to the top side, try to secure the Herald, and get a 1-for-1 objective trade. Should be fine. At least we're able to secure the Herald, and this is one thing that you shouldn't want to do before an objective, is to use all of your spells, because I get punished for it. I didn't have ultimate to follow up the Seraphine ulti, but overall, at least we're able to get a trade. First tower for the Aatrox, which is good. This would help him do better in the matchup, and if we give Aatrox gold, he might be able to snowball the game. The opponents get Dragon, not the worst. We could just get the second Dragon and deny their 3 Dragon take. With nothing happening again, I go back to my own jungle. All of my camps are up. Clear the Gromp. Traveling to the bot side. Their Diana shows up, looks to punish our bot lane. I hope they're okay. And seeing the positioning of the opponents, most likely they're all at the bot side. So I go and focus my clear top to bot just in case they go for a possible dive. Aatrox plays a bit greedy, tries to take down the Teemo. Unfortunately, Xin Zhao is there and he gets taken down instead. Seeing two people topside, this prompts me to go to the bot lane. Seraphine with a good gank, and with the Blast Cone being there, we could go for an easy tower dive. Fortunately, Lulu goes down, but we're here in position to destroy the Lux. I still have my ultimate. We disable the tower. Even though Saya's flash, I have my own flash. We bite the Saya. Teemo shows up, but I know that I have the advantage. With the Diana and Xin Zhao being seen, Teemo has no one to help, and we get a good trade. Plating at the bot side. Unfortunately, their mid and top are able to get platings as well, but what's important is that we're able to get some kills. Diana falls down to the... Rather, Seraphine falls down to the Diana. At least Lulu's there to try to defend. Fortunately, it's not enough. But overall, at least we're able to get a lot of items. Cleaver in 7 minutes. I don't have boots yet, but it should be fine because I have a lot of damage and tankiness in my kit. Red buff is up. I wanted to go help the top lane, but we're too far. So what I'm thinking is that we go dive the bot instead, so we at least get a trade. My ultimate is almost up, and whoever's defending the tower, we should be able to easily dive. And this is what's really good about Volibear. Lux is the one defending. I know that Saya's not there since she's at the mid. And with Volibear, I'm not scared about the tower because I just have my ultimate to disable, giving me a dash and a disable. Kinda OP if you think about it. And if we get a massive lead like this, we should be able to burst those squishy targets. With Teemo showing up, I want to take down the tower, but seeing that 4 of their members are there, it's gonna be a very big risk, and I don't want to risk my own life trying to get the tower, especially since I have a kill streak, and I don't want to give them any shutdown. I buy Merc Threads because they are AP heavy. With Diana, Teemo, plus Lux, we also deny a lot of their CC, and it just makes sense that that's the boots that we go for. With all of my camps up, and the dragons spawning soon, I go clear my top side, passing to the bot. Diana goes in, tries to punish our Seraphine. I go and help just in case Diana decides to overextend, but she doesn't. So I just continue to clear my camps. With nothing else happening, I'm just looking at the minimap if I could help any lane. And seeing the Aatrox, I think he's trying to steal the frogs of the Xin Zhao. And with the dragon spawning in 40 seconds, I can now path towards bot side. Unfortunately, my raptors got stolen, but it should be okay overall. I have stasis, so I decide to buy this before going for an objective fight, because this is going to be very crucial for me buying time. If I go in with my first plus ulti, it's hard for me to escape, and stasis would allow me to buy a lot of time and help my team deal damage while I zone them. I also have a kill streak, so this is a very good survival item for me. I wanted to go Righteous Glory, but with the state of the game, we don't have any front line, and that's why I went for the stasis and went for the team fight enchantment. With the dragon spawning, I want to punish the Saya, flash in, and even though Saya's flash plus ulti, we destroy the tower and get their ADC down. With that, it's a 4v5, and we should be able to secure the dragon easily unless some people choke. Aatrox goes in, good ultimate by Seraphine. Their jungler, quite tanky with the Gargoyle Stone Plate, is able to flash away. I wouldn't be able to chase him down. Diana flashes out. They get a 1-for-1 trade, but with our jungler still up, Teemo decides to flash in. Tries to burst our Lulu, but she's a bit tanky. And with our Xin Zhao living with 1 HP, we should be able to secure this. But the problem is that I don't have smite yet. Still in 5 seconds. Punish the Diana for going in. And I want to secure this before the Xin Zhao goes. Really good secure. I think about fighting or just escaping. I leave the Corki. I wanted to help. I didn't see that my ultimate would go up. So we go in, take down the Xin Zhao. But with Saya free hitting, I get exhausted. I'm really low. Lifesteal with the second skill. Stun as well. Aatrox is there to help. Unfortunately, we get taken down. But at least Aatrox is here to get the trade. And we're able to secure the second dragon. I should have helped the Corki and then used my ultimate to escape rather than just escaping and then going back in. If I played it a little bit better, I could have done a lot more, but overall, it's okay. We get a lot of kills and we're able to get the dragon. Looking on what's happening on the map, since we're the only tank, we go for the Amaranth Twin Guard, third item, so we would be a lot more tankier when it comes to the team fights. Corki, Seraphine, as long as we're able to protect these, also the Aatrox, we should be fine in the fights. The only problem is that they also have a lot of damage and I just need to be able to do my best to zone them, especially in the late game. Volibear's damage falls a bit when it gets to later stages of the game, but it becomes a lot more tankier as well, especially once we're able to complete the Wind Guard. Our second skill still deals a lot of damage. The only problem is that if the opponents build more armor, they'll be a lot more tankier, especially with the new shield bow. Saya, overextended, we go for the punish again. Third skill, I still have my second skill, and even with the tower, we disable it again, and we're just farming their ADC at this point. Even though their Saya has flash, ultimate, she has a lot of tools to escape. We also have a lot of tools to chase her down, and with the Nimbus Cloak plus Smite and first skill, we easily take their ADC again. Unfortunately, Aatrox falls down, but he's able to at least get the Teemo, and we get the mid tower. Really good. Still a good trade overall, and with all of our camps up, we always want to farm our jungle camps. As much as possible, even though Volibear falls down a bit, we should still be very relevant in the team fights as long as we're able to auto-attack. The key to Volibear is to always be able to spam your skills, and Volibear becomes a weak champion in team fights if we just get zoned or kited by the opposing team. That's Volibear's biggest weakness if he's not able to get close. But if we're able to get close and we have a lot of gap closers with the use of our ultimate, smite, and flash, it's pretty easy to force a team fight. Teemo split pushing bot. There was two options that I could have gone. I either help the top side or I go for a gank bot. Teemo being really fast, I didn't expect Teemo to be able to run away that quickly, and with the invisibility, and since I have all of the items, we don't win the 4v4, and Teemo was able to buy time. We force her flash, but it's not enough, so I immediately go back, buy my Twin Guard, and try to help my top side. Very fortunate that only one of them died, and showing my presence, the opponents goes back, and we're able to defend the top tower. I'm thinking about them going for the Baron, but as soon as I see their positioning, it should be fine, and we go and prepare for the third dragon. The next item I'm thinking what to buy, since I have a lot of gold, and mostly I'm probably the carry at this point with all of the gold that we have, 12k at 14 minutes, with the next one at 10k. We look to go for the Teemo. I know that he has no more flash from a while ago. Xin Xiao shows himself instead, and we go for this champion. Second skill, auto attack. We just want to spam our second skill when it's open. I want to take down their jungler as soon as possible so that we wouldn't be able to be contested on the dragon. We take them down, Aatrox gets a reset. Luxo's able to flash, but Aatrox has his own flash, and we get 2 kills. Really good. Perfect timing. Even though our support goes down, it's a fair trade with us getting 2 champions in exchange. Most probably we would be able to get the objective as well. I could go for a turn just in case, but as soon as I see Saya flash in, we just go in. We don't need to be wary about the objective because they have no jungler. The only problem is I don't have flash. I used it earlier, but with the advantage that we have, we should be able to secure it. Teemo almost steals it, gets punished instead, and with that, we're still quite strong. Diana shows up, wants to get a last hit onto the Seraphine. Aatrox has ulti. He's able to chase her down. I have my first skill to chase. Second skill, get an assist. And with 3 of their members down, we could go for a Baron. Our Corki is alive. Lulu's here. Seraphine, quite low, but she has a lot of skills that she can spam to help us take the objective. I immediately go for a turn because only 2 of them are up. And I want to take down their jungler. We go for the Lux instead because she's a lot squishier. Our team is focusing down the Xin Zhao. And with their jungler down again, I know that we would be able to secure the Baron. Look how tanky I am with the Amaranth Wind Guard, plus Sunder and Cleaver. Not only do we have a lot of lifesteal, we're also very tanky with the Amaranth proccing and have a lot of tenacity. So we wouldn't be able to get CC'd for a long time. We secure the Baron and I go for the Deadmans instead because I'm quite confident of my damage. Deadmans gives me a bit of armor and more burst damage. I'm able to chase down targets easier. So I went for this item. But if it was a close game, I could have gone for the Warmogs and focused on being a pure tank. But at this stage of the game, looking at my score, 9, 1, and 10, why not go for a more damage-oriented item? Even though it's a defensive item, at least it gives me a bit of damage as compared to Warmogs, which only gives me a bit of HP. The armor of the Deadman synergizes well with the Wind Guard, giving me more armor and becoming tankier also. We push mid, go for a 1-4. I have my ulti to disable the tower just in case we want to go for a dive. Corki suddenly packages in, so we do a bit of a misplay, miss all of our skills. Corki forced to flash, but with their Diana overextending, look how tanky I am. I'm just focusing down the Xin Zhao. The only problem here is I tanked the tower, that's why I had to use my stasis. But seeing on how much damage I can take, I go for the mid tower since we still have the Baron buff, and at this point we want to secure the inhibitor towers. We're able to take the mid. I'm half HP, I want to buy my item. The next item I'm going for is Force of Nature because they have a lot of AP. Their only AD is Saya, who I can tank the damage since she does not hurt that much yet. Elder's up. We're thinking about starting it, or we can just go for a turn. We go for the start. But there's a high chance that it can be contested. They see it with the Scrying plus Lux ulti. Their jungler is out of position, so I immediately go for an ultimate. He pushes me away, but I still have flash to chase him down. So as usual, I want to focus down their jungler. But he's able to escape. I have my Amaranths giving me a lot of tenacity and tankiness. With Seraphine's heal, I'm able to get back my HP. And knowing that their jungler has no more HP, we could go for another start. I have my Smite plus second skill for an execute. But we could go for a turn just in case their jungler shows himself. Seeing their positioning, we should be able to take this. Xin Zhao is playing a bit greedy, wants to steal, so we go for the Xin Zhao. Good job on my team turning, and I want to secure this. I have Smite, and with the Elder buff, we go in with our ultimate, dealing a lot of damage. Passive plus Elder, getting a triple kill. Only the Diana is alive. I saw her going at the bot side. With their mid lane exposed, you could go for a GG push. Go for an end. Even though their Diana shows up, she shouldn't be able to do anything. Seraphine, good ulti flash. We take her as well. And GG's. Really good gameplay overall. The only mistake that we did was at the Dragon Pit, where we went out and then suddenly went back in. I should have just played it safe and protected my team or just went for the reset. But overall, pretty clean game. 100% Volibear on Grandmaster. Not only do we deal a lot of damage, we are also very tanky. We get MVP. Good job to our teammates for having a good response. Look at my damage. 34k damage. Almost the same as the ADC. And damage taken, 14k. Really good performance, and I hope you guys enjoyed our Volibear jungle. That is it for me, and I will see you guys next time. Peace out. Ciao, ciao.